Hey y'all. Hey. Okay, so listen. There is nothing right about this video other than my daddy. um, I have not recorded a Grieving Worshipper podcast episode. And actually, I'm not even recording right now. I'm recording here, but I'm not recording audio because I didn't click the video. I didn't click the button like I was supposed to. Let me tell y'all something. I am taking a stab at recording an episode today, and it's gonna be quick and to the point, mainly because I haven't recorded in a while. There's nothing right about this video. There's nothing aesthetically pleasing about it. I didn't do anything special. I didn't get my makeup done like I probably should have. I didn't do all the things that to make it be perfect. But my heart is just kind of in a good place to share and to talk. And that's really what I'm all about. And so this is one of the episodes that's going up on my YouTube channel. And I am just taking a leap and I am starting. I'm starting somewhere. A lot of what I do in life is surrounded by it being right and being perfect and being set up the right way and produced the right way and put out the right way. And today I just didn't have that in me. I miss my daddy a lot and I miss my family members a lot. And so much has happened. A lot of good has happened to me. A lot of beautiful things have happened in my life. And I know that I am called to be transparent and to share my journey. And so that's what I'm doing. And so today is just one of those impromptu kind of days where I didn't really plan to do an episode. I've been really, really lazy. That's just what it is. I have been really lazy. I have not just kind of put the effort into myself. And that's one of the things that I know happens because of my grief. Sometimes there's so many things to do that is like, I'm going to do nothing and I'm going to go to bed. Nevertheless, here I am. I'm going to take a stab at the day, take a stab at this video and this recording, put it out there and let you guys know where I've been, what's going on. So if this is your first time tuning in, if this is your first time seeing me, my name is Brittany Michelle. I am a worshiper. I'm a lover of God. I am a Fort Worth resident. I am a person who loves to travel, and I have been impacted tremendously by grief. With that type of impact in my life, I have made a decision to share my journey, to share my restoration process, to share the way that God has done a miraculous work in me when I thought life was over. And I have made it my choice to be open and transparent with people about my journey. I'm a worship leader in the Dallas area. I am, I have a conventional job as well. I work in the travel industry. I'm building a brand of my own, all while trying to heal. And so that is where the Grieving Worshipper comes from. I am a worshiper at my heart. A lot of what I do, a lot of my vocation is worship. And I am called to serve God's people through music and through teaching and through sharing what it means to worship Him. While I've been called to that, life has happened to me. And when life happened, I have just had to make a decision to keep going and keep thriving in it. And so above, you'll see my dad. He passed away in 2020 due to COVID, in the COVID pandemic. It was his death that just kind of was a catalyst, as my therapist would say, to this space that I live in now. I did not think that I would survive my father's death. I did not plan to serve God any longer. I had made up in my mind that the time that I had put in was worthless and it didn't produce me anything. And his death was probably the last death of a long line of people that I had lost that had impacted me a lot. And it was his death that just kind of changed everything. And so here I am now, in a much better place than 2020. And I'm grateful that I can say that. I will tell you, I never thought I'd be able to even say that. But I can say God has been faithful to me. God has been gracious to me. He has been kind. And unlike humans, he has given me grace to heal, to feel everything that I feel. He has given me grace to kick and scream and be honest about the pain that I feel. And he has gently nudged me back to himself without forcing me to feel like my feelings and my emotions were inadequate or that they were irrelevant, rather. And so I'm grateful to be able to share with people my journey, to share with people the fact that who you see on the platform, when you see me, I can honestly say you see victory, because the enemy is actively fighting me on a day-to-day basis for me to tap out of what he knows I'm called to. And a lot of the times we forget that we're not the only ones who know we're called. God is not the only one that knows we're called. The enemy knows we're called, and whatever he can do to cause us to tap out of that space, he will do. And a lot of the times, the things that he presents, they're not invalid. They can be valid reasons for you to go, I'm done with that. But a lot of the time, it's a matter of you making a decision that God's way is good and God's way is better. And so I have, over time, this has not happened overnight. I am still very much so in a process. I'm in a process that I feel like will be lifelong. There are things that I know I will experience going forward without my dad. There are days that I have where I go, man, he's really not here. And when I have those experiences, when I have those feelings, when I have those moments, I'm allowed to lean into them and let them bear their weight on me. But I have made a decision at this point in my life that I'm not consumed by those emotions. And I don't allow those emotions to rule what I do or don't do next. So that's a little bit about who I am and how I got to this place. The Grieving Worshipper was birthed out of John chapter 11, where Jesus raises Lazarus from the dead, and Martha and Mary, his sisters, Lazarus' sisters, come to Jesus and they say, had you been here, my brother would not have died. Martha says this first, and then Jesus continues what he's doing, and then Mary comes and she says the same thing, and Jesus is deeply moved and he tells her, show me where you laid him. From there, you see this miracle, but there is something about Mary. There was something about who Mary was. And this was the same Mary who poured out her alabaster box and gave up all of what she had accumulated in worship for God. And in the moment that I read that text, or that I heard that text be delivered to me, which I'll share more about later, when I heard that text be delivered in that way and shared by saying Mary was this worshiper. She was the worshiper who was always serving, always giving, always loving on Jesus, always taking care of Jesus. I saw myself in her. And I couldn't believe that this could happen to me. The way that I serve your church, the way that I give up of myself, the way that I have been selfless over time, and how could my prayers go unanswered? And God let me see a piece. I saw a piece of me in Mary when she came to him and said, had you been here, my brother wouldn't have died. I know you didn't cause this, but you could have stopped it. And her perspective really just rang true in my heart at that moment. But I also noticed that I resonated with her because when she spoke, Jesus moved. And there was something that she got from Jesus in that moment that was bigger than him raising her brother back to life. We'll get into that a little bit later in some other episodes. But listen, the Grieving Worshipper is me. The Grieving Worshipper can be you. The grieving worshiper is the person who has served in ministry but still experienced life. A lot of the times we feel like our suffering is apart from our service, and it is not. And I have learned that a lot of my suffering, a lot of the things that I have bared and have dealt with, and a lot of the depression I've dealt with, a lot of the darkness I've dealt with, has drawn me more to who God is and why I serve him. So here I am healing. I am not in this like, oh, I'm all put together, now I'm sharing. No, listen, I am in a process. I am healing. I am moving forward in what I know God is calling me to do, while I'm afraid, while I'm unsure, while I am still figuring it out. And listen, I have a lot to share because there are a lot of conversations that I feel like we just haven't had and that we're not having. I realized when my father passed away that some of the things I thought I knew they just didn't make sense anymore. And God in his infinite wisdom allowed me to kind of strip some things that I felt like were necessary. And in that time, I was able to find more of him rather than the things that I was doing, rather than the acts or my deeds. I was able to draw near and draw closer to who God truly, truly was and who he was revealing himself to be in my life. So I have the task, as lazy as I've been, because I've been lazy. I have not been diligent about sharing and about talking. I have tons of topics in my phone. I have even episodes that I've recorded with people that I haven't shared, but I fully intend to do that. I'm getting on the right track here. And so I just kind of wanted to share this video to let you know where I was, who I am, and where we're headed. So I have some things that I want to make sure that I share with you. There's some perspectives that I feel like are necessary for us to have as believers. But this podcast is not limited to people who believe in Jesus, because grief is a thing for us all. Whether you've made Jesus your choice or not, grief will impact you in some type of way. Maybe you're not grieving right now, but this may be a good space for you to support somebody who is grieving. Or this may be a good space just for you to gain strength for when the day comes. Because the truth is, and something I stand firmly on, is that the only sure thing about life is death. And now I can say that without this like, why? I know that death is sure. And because I think a lot about death, because I've experienced death a lot and not just death, because this won't just be about death losses. This will be about grieving loss in general. But death has been the thing that impacted me most. So when I think about death, it makes me think about living better. It's helped me to reshape my whys. And my daddy is a lot of my why now. He's a lot of my reason, just because he lived well. And he left an impact on so many people, and especially upon me, that I just desire to be honest and say like, yo, that was the hardest thing. This has been the hardest thing I've ever experienced. But with God's help, with hard days, with tears, with screaming, with not answering my phone, with going away for some days, with a lot of different, with therapy, with prayer, with help, with people praying when I could not, with all of these types of things, I've been able to make it to this space that I sit in and that I live in right now. And I don't take that lightly. I don't take that for granted. I know that had it not been for all of the things I've experienced, I would not have the perspective that I have and that I live in, and that I choose to allow to shape me into the person that I'm becoming. So I just wanted to take, I say that a lot, huh? So I just wanted to take a minute to get out of myself, get out of my of the day, and kind of share where I am, put some fire under me to get some things done and to keep going. I know that there is a mandate on my life. I know that there's a mandate on your life. And some of the things that we're going to talk about will help to unlock the spaces in you that are keeping you from reaching your full potential and your full destiny. Loss is hard in all types of ways. And like I said, we won't just talk about death loss. The Grieving Worshipper podcast is going to be full of different types of point of view. The bulk of what I do is church. I love ministry. I serve in ministry. It's a part of who I am. But please do not turn off because that's not where you are just yet, or that's not what you do just yet. There is space for you here. Your voice is valid. You are necessary and you are loved. And so I want you to share. I want you to chime in. I want you to email me topics, things that you feel like we should talk about or talk more about. If you'd like to come on and share your journey, please reach out to me. My email is brittanymichelle@gmail.com. That's BrittanyMeechel@gmail.com. I'd love to have the opportunity to talk to you about your journey of grief and loss and how we can overcome. This won't be about the woe is me part of it. I have hard days. I really, really have had hard days. I have made a decision that I can do hard things. I am not trapped by my emotions. I am not consumed by the things that have impacted me, but I am using every moment to give God glory, and I'm using every experience to be better. And I think that's it for me today. I'm proud of me for even taking a minute to talk because listen, like I said, I've been extremely lazy. I have not hooked up this microphone in months. I have 2 videos on my phone right now that I recorded back in August, September, before I left out and went on tour. I sing, and so I've had the privilege of singing behind Tamala Mann for the last year or so. And so that's been a beautiful thing that's happened in my life while I've been healing, while I've been grieving, while I've been having hard days. I've been working and I've been living and I've been enjoying life. I've been finding joy. I've been allowing joy to find me. I have had new experiences. I've met new people. I've had to let go of some people. Life has been lifing, y'all. Listen, but here we are, onward and upward to 2023. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to share with you my journey. So here's what you can expect from me. And I'm going to say this because I'm a woman of my word. So if I say it, it is because I'm trying to hold myself accountable, and hopefully you will too. So what you can expect from me is that you'll get 2 episodes between now and the end of February. And the goal will be to share at least 2 episodes monthly. Some type of conversation from me and some type of conversation with a guest. I have some amazing people in my life that have just kind of seen me through, and I want to share their perspectives as well because, listen, when you're grieving, you affect a lot of people. And I think we don't talk about it enough. And I think when we have more conversations, we can grow to be more compassionate. We can grow to love people differently, how they need to be loved. And we can learn more about ourselves. So that is my goal. You can expect 2 episodes from me here on YouTube, on Facebook, on the Grieving Worshipper page. If you'd like to follow on Facebook, they'll be posted on the Grieving Worshipper page on Facebook. So please like and share and follow that page. And then you can follow here on YouTube at Brittany Michelle. You can find me on any podcast, wherever you stream your podcast, if you just want the audio. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, any of those, you can find this podcast. And I hope that you'll share it with somebody you love. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon. We did it.